This is Cobalt Blue. So we're going to jump into Cobalt Blue, which opens up with this riff. Now you'll notice, first thing I do is I'm only hitting it once with the right hand, and that's with the side of the thumb. Just a little thumb slap there. And then what I've got going on with the left hand is a double stop hammer and pull, like this. So I hit the open string, hammer on to the second fret on strings 6 and 4, then pull off, and then same thing on the 3rd fret, then using my pinky, and I'm kind of cheating a little bit because I'm really covering 3 strings with that. So the whole phrase, and then that repeats to establish the feel. Then moving into the verse, what then happens is I'm keeping the bass riff going just as on a single string, but I'm then adding the melody on top. And I'm starting off with a bend on the 2nd string. Now I'm in dad-gad tuning, so the string is a little looser, which gives me a little more flexibility there. And when I hit the 4th string, I'm just bending it up just a little bit, not a full bend. Now I'm moving to the 5 chord, to the A chord. This is where it gets a little tricky because I'm holding down that note and I'm doing more hammers and pulls. Now, very important technical point that when you're doing a hammer or a pull-off, it's a strong, precise move. And a pull-off is something that you don't just lift your finger off. You really do pick the string with your left hand. So moving into that phrase, and then back to the 1. That's a little tough, because I'm doing the hammers and pulls now at the 5th fret. Okay, let me, I'll back up into that. I'm getting this nice sus chord here. Now, octaves. Very important thing in DAG-GAD is that you can get these octaves, because you've got 3 D strings and 2 A strings. You get these kind of phrases. So let me play the whole phrase for you from the beginning. On the 1 chord to the 5 chord. 1. And then back to the riff. Now the second time that happens, where actually the phrase gets extended a little bit. So instead of just starting the phrase here, I go further up the neck. So let me back it up a little bit. So here, more octaves. Now this is where it gets tricky. I'm moving right up to the 12th fret. First of all, it starts with a slide with the pinky. And moving back there. Now you'll notice harmonically what's happening there is that it's like a thick line. Rather than playing a regular chord, I'm actually just moving this kind of thickened line with a sus4. Like here, for example, I've got a G, an A, and a D. So, and then keeping that thick line going. And then back to the riff. Now, moving on into the B section of the tune, or the bridge section, I've got some chords going from the B flat to the A, which is the flat 6 to the 5. And I've got this little lick that comes in there. And you'll notice again it's all hammers and pulls. More hammers with a 12th fret finger slap. Like that. And again, 5 chord. Now, this time I'm going to be hammering on with my right hand, with my 1st and 2nd fingers of my right hand. So I've still got the same riff going on, but moved up to the 5 chord, and then we go back to the melody. So that's how that all fits together. Then once I get to the solo section, what happens here is I then go back to the opening riff, but what I'm doing is I'm also now adding some percussion too. So it's, you just got to get the coordination between the two. Now I head into some octaves for the solo. And there I got all 3 strings, bottom strings. Start that over. that again slowly. And then from there it goes back into the B section. I'll play this for you again. And do a little percussive thing there. And then back to the tune. Slowing it down, you can see how the parts fit together. And there's a little turnaround. Back to the riff at the end. But I augment it by... And here actually what I'm doing is an upstroke with the back of the thumbnail. So you get both the rhythmic, the strummy part with the right hand, and also the hammers and pulls with the left hand. So any questions about that? I think we pretty much covered all the bits. Just a couple of comments also. Some of these harmonies, it's just very, it's not straight major and minor chords, but because DAG-GAD has this kind of floating fourth, where you've got the G and the A string next to each other, it lets a chord like that, which is basically an E in the bass, a C, a D, and a G. So it's like a C add 2 over an E. And like here I've got an F chord, but it's an F, a C, a D, and a G. There's no third in it. So I'm not really fully articulating it as a major, straight major or a straight minor chord, but it has this nice kind of floating, kind of semi-jazzy feel to it. So that's Cobalt Blue for you.